Hey guys. See you, buddy. So, apologize by the way for quality of the video. Might not be the best. Rather than using a like a normal camera, I just brought a webcam today to make it easy. Lee's one of my brown belts, so he's going to come in and help as well. So if you guys have questions, start asking some of the questions. Let me. Hey Andrew. So I'm going to look through. If you guys have questions, just put them on there. Otherwise, I'll go through some of you guys' goals and stuff like that, and then go from there. By the way, if you guys can't hear me, please let me know. And I suppose if you can't hear me, that's a dumb thing to ask. But if I'm not maybe loud enough, we'll say. Yeah. Take a few seconds here. Listen to 53 comments. Mark, if you're on, it said that you had a few questions you'd like to get feedback on. Let's see. I'd like to get feedback on a few questions I may have, and have people who are willing to check in on my progress and keep me motivated. And I'm more than willing to. Like last night, we reviewed some of the footage of our own gym, like the guys from there, and just said, you know, hey, work on this, work on that. For me, I'm much happier with having people, like, it's kind of a lot of the weird stuff that I do for class, but we don't do any coaching during the class, so afterwards I'll try to send videos as much as I can of what people did wrong or what they could have been doing better, things like that. Because if they're just sitting at home, they have a chance to actually let it sink in rather than trying to do it live at that exact moment. To me, it feels like it's going to stick a lot better. So, Mark, if you have some of those questions, please let me know. Let's see. Just trying to go through some of the stuff that you guys posted. Okay, so most of these, it looks like, are regarding how much time you want to train, things like that. And by the way, also it looks like Aaron Funk, you guys train out of No Coast BJJ. Make sure to say hi to the guys there. A lot of those guys come and compete at our tournament here. We actually do a small tournament here at the gym and kind of go just like 1 or 2 matches and then stream them live. I know that Derek and Josh, or Jordan, excuse me, have both done the tournament here. So. See, there's a couple questions up there. Yeah, we just got done with class. He just beat up on me, so we've been finding out that, like, now that it's like brown and black belt, that is pretty much whoever establishes top position and gets in dominant position, that's probably pretty much going to win the round. So, okay, armbar from guard is one that you said that you wanted help with. If you had a video of it that of you doing it, great. Otherwise, I just want to go through maybe a couple of the thoughts that I have about it. Should be able to see. So with this, one thing I see a lot of people do, a lot of newer folks, bring their hips out as they go. So when they go for an arm bar, they're going to go off to the side and bring their hips out here. You'll see some coaches teach that way. I've had blue and purple belts move here and do it that way. It's not necessarily wrong, but if you're doing it this way, I'm going to have you change it just a little bit. So I want to do grip the same way. Make sure that you're not going too high as well. Sometimes when you go here, bring that high, it's hard to bring this other leg around. So I want to put his elbow just past my belly button, grab the shoulder, pull that down. This foot's going to go in the hip. My hips are going to remain completely flat, and then I'm going to turn at like a 90-degree angle. So we're here, and I want to take this heel and put it to this knee. For me, that was kind of like the biggest change that I started making. So putting this hip here, and then as I come around, I want to take this heel and clamp down this knee, or try to get it there as best I can, and then bring this leg over top. When you bring your hips out like this, I'm not able to create any pressure on his back, and he's able to pull that arm out pretty easily, right? So if I go here, pull this down, foot in the hip, bring this up, and change my angle as I bring this heel to this knee here, and clamp down, even if I don't have control, it's really hard for him to bring that arm out. And then I want to skim over top. I don't want to go super wide. I just want to skim over top his head. So the other thing I'll say is when I go here, get to here, I'm going to take my arm closest to his head, and then either grab my shoulder, grab my gi, and create structure to my back rather than going this way. This isn't wrong, but I just like going here where it's a little bit tighter, or around this way, or around the leg as I do that arm bar. And then make sure to keep your knees nice and tight. I was keeping them loose just to kind of show, but knees nice and tight here. And then this area as well needs to be super tight. If this area is loose, this hand's going to come inside and start to push down. So here, clamp this way, or preferably this way. But I would say that the biggest thing for me is that clamp of coming over top. Your thoughts?
None really. Yeah, I mean the clamp's such a huge deal, particularly when you start going with stronger people who have like a lot of back strength. If you're not actually breaking your posture throughout the entirety of the move, it's way too easy to lose the arm bar.
Yeah, if you're not perpendicular to that person, it's going to be really tough to get. So hopefully that answers it. If it doesn't, please let me know, or maybe a problem area that you're having that I can help answer a little bit. Okay, you should possibly go over some triangles, omoplata transitions, specifically the idea of preventing their roll. If you're going triangle omoplata here, say I push this through, come up, and then maybe he'll bring his arm to the other side to defend that triangle. As I go here, make sure that you're keeping this super tight, and then you're going to come underneath. As I come underneath, I want to straighten this leg out. That way he completely flattens out. So rather than just going here, if that's become a problem, search for underneath here. So control, you'll see Johnny Grippo go this way, right? So he'll control, go this way, and kick out. Hand goes here, come out to the side. Scoot back just a little bit if you would. Just do it that way. So,
I think you're frozen it, but
no, that's just the,
okay.
Back. So, say I go, again, triangle, make sure the hips are up nice and tight, snapping down, and then as he brings that around, control here, come over top, and then if you want to sit up, you can sit up. Otherwise, you're going to angle off. Opposite hand comes in like you normally would, and then I want to search underneath his leg, stretch that out, angle off, go here, and then sit up. If they do roll, I don't actually mind them rolling too much. Let's go back a little bit more. So, he comes out, and say I go here, and he does roll. Just stay with it. So, here, make sure to keep this grip. Make sure there. And then I'm going to switch, and then make sure that I come up here. Try to do it slow. It sucks. So here, and stay super tight on top of that. If you want to re-go for the triangle, you can. Otherwise, if you want to re-go for the omoplata, you roll to make sure that this time you're staying over their back. So, let's go straight to the omoplata. He rolls off of that. Here, I stay tight, switch, start to come up. As I start to come up, again, if you want to go re-roll for that omoplata or come back. You can also go off to like a monoplata, off. This way. Here, you can come up. Additional thoughts, sir? Triangle setups. Mr. Brown Belt is Lee, by the way. Is his name. Come on, Ben. There you go. Camera's killing me. Hopefully that answered it for you, Mark. Trying to think if you have a video too of where it's failing, I'll try to watch that as much as possible. All right, next questions, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to show a nice little half guard sweep or a giggler sweep. I know. Okay. So this is one of the sweeps that I like. You'll see Sean Roberts use it just from like a regular half of the knee down. So scoop that just a little bit. Okay, I know this one. Trying to think who else I see use this every once in a while. I've seen Bruce Joshua use it.
Yeah, it was Roberts that used it on Vieira and Moonjals that had everybody freaking out because nobody thought, like, once Vieira got the far side underhook on you, everybody thought you were toast, but he swept him with this one.
So it's going to be, you can use it from an underhook and an overhook, but I like using it from an overhook. So I'm going to go here, and then this knee is going to be really shallow. So some people will call it, I call it a baby sweep, but everybody else calls it a giggler sweep. So this knee is going to be basically in his hip. So if he sits up real quick, it's going to be really shallow. So my right foot is going to be just at the very edge of his calf, and then my left foot's going to be on top of my right foot. And so next time I do it, I'll kind of switch angles so you guys can see the foot placement. So here, bicep control, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my hips, and I'm going to put my right knee and kind of curve this way. So I'm going to go here, switch, and then come up on top. Most of the time what will happen is I'll start to pummel, come underneath, and get up on top. Otherwise, what I can do here, as I pop, what'll happen sometimes is he'll base out, right? And he'll start to come back. And then I'll go for a triangle, or just go right back into regular, like full guard. So he comes back up on top and gets full guard. So, one more time here. Try to get him a little bit overextended on this side. Switch and come up on top. Let's go this way. So my foot is essentially pushing down, and then I want to go scoop underneath. So here, scoop. And then if I get to this situation, I really want to get on top, and he's starting to scramble and come up, I'm going to grab this inside leg right here. So just like that, and then I want to go over top. Once I go over top, I come up. I just want to stop him from being able to scoot his hips out. Over top, come up. And most of the time, I should just be able to, once I get that sweep, pummel for that underhook, and get up on top. Over top. Here. Sweep, underhook, or control the leg. And go on. No, most of the group I would say is white belt, so feel free to ask any white belt questions. I mean, seems like white belt questions are blue and purple and brown belt questions. They're just pretty much from different positions rather than your typical guard stuff. So feel free to ask any off of there. What you got for a crazy sweep and or submission and or put you on the spot. He found that he was going to help me out about 10 minutes ago. So
a series that I use quite a bit. Turtles become increasingly popular, but because I'm fat, I don't like to dive for back takes a lot, like a lot of people do, simply because I prefer not take the risk of like going off to the side and attacking in a traditional way. So in wrestling, one of the moves that you frequently see happen is where you suck them back onto their butts. And there's a series that I go through there where I go into one that's probably not IBJJF legal, which is that kind of choke / crank where you sag back.
Sure.
And then from there, I'll frequently go into a north-south choke.
I think they call that one the Dragon Sleeper.
Like Ultimo Dragon? From WCW days?
I don't know. I didn't watch as much WWE and WCW wrestling or WWF probably back in your day.
Okay, so what happens is a lot of the times, like I particularly with Bruce, there's lots of guys that are super adept at using turtle to attack and use sweeps and stuff like that. And because I'm such a chubby dude, like I don't necessarily like to like put myself in risky positions where like going to take the back makes me a bit nervous. So what I like to be able to keep my base underneath me. And so what I'll frequently do is when I get people starting to turtle is I'll suck them back onto all fours. And in these sorts of positions, like right here, like guys will fight you from getting the grip on the collar, but to often do that, the elbow comes up. And I'm okay with that because what I frequently do is I get here almost like I would on a modified short choke, but I'm coming from a seatbelt position. And so to finish this choke, all I do is I bring them close and tight, and I'm making sure my head is tight and my grip is tight here. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly sag him back and walk him into the choke. That's it. So essentially the position is such that
your hand is coming underneath the chin almost like you would on a short choke. You're not going all the way across like you would on a rear naked. You're going to close your grip, blade edge is along the throat, and then all you do is you kind of just, you sit them back. So we're here, I'm trying to work with them, I suck it back a bit, and then I'm immediately attacking. A lot of guys will fight you like crazy to prevent you from getting this collar, but once they're here, they don't freak out too much so long as your grip isn't deep, and I'm fine with that right there. I bring him straight on, I keep my head tight so he doesn't have room to kind of wiggle out of it either way, and then I just sag him back. Now, sometimes you'll get guys that do manage to turn a little bit, and then essentially all I do at that point is I just go into a north-south choke, but that's for another day.
Yeah, I got used to playing turtle because I'm like 6'5" and probably 230 pounds, so I got used to being in the ultra heavyweight division and having no muscle structure whatsoever. So being smashed by large wrestlers that were just trying to take me down. So, you know, I'd turtle up and get into a fetal position kind of and then work from there. So that's pretty much my, that was my go-to for a long time. It's changed since then, but for like the first 3 years of being completely terrible at jiu-jitsu, that was pretty much my game. Okay. Been playing with the Darce lately. Can you go over Darce in detail with the anaconda roll? So let's get one. You prefer attacking from half guard or from full mount?
Jester.
Good
joke, jokester. Jester is that what it says?
Jester.
Jester. Yes, that's me.
So you will work both, like go into the Darce, and then also the defenses to the Darce as well. So let's have your head that way, if you would. Like point your head towards the, so both of our ball heads can be towards that, scoot that way a little bit.
The horse. You get to see the horseshoe pattern baldness.
Yeah.
You're so lucky.
Just keep doing jiu-jitsu long enough. That's what just happens invariably. So, all right. So one of the big things that I want to do is make sure that you're shooting that arm through enough, but not so much that you're getting kind of the thick part of your hand through. So as I go, I want to make sure that his arm is in the center of my chest here, and then my bicep. I'm going to grab my bicep. So here, this way, clamp down, and this hand's going to come as high as I can. And then from there, I'm not trying to drive forward a ton as much as I'm trying to bring this down. So I'm trying to puff my chest out and push down at like a 45-degree angle compared to like driving over. What you'll see a lot of people do is when they go, they'll do this, and you'll see kind of my back punch over, which it already does anyways, but it's even worse that way. So same thing with like gi chokes and things like that. They're accommodating for that person rather than trying to smash. So say I'm here this way, and I'm going to slowly push down with my chest and go here. If you want to pull back up, it'll work too. It's more of a neck crank, but slowly pushing down at this angle, so like a 45-degree angle, rather than trying to push, get his back flat. You'll see a lot of people teach it that way. I don't think it's necessarily wrong, but it's not a way that I was very effective with. And then the other thing is, one of the big ones is making sure that his arm stays in the center of your chest. If it's out here, he's going to have space. If it's back here, he's certainly going to have space. So I like trying to get it in between my legs if I can. Go here, this way, and then hand up. So once I get there, make sure I push in, trying to drive forward and sit down a lot. So hopefully that answers the Darce question a little bit. Any details you want to add to that one? Okay. And then we're going to talk about a Darce defense real quick. So he throws me in a Darce. I want to take my thumb as soon as I can and put it on the inside of his wrist. right? So I'm going to try to get my head up as much as possible, and I want to try to get my elbow out. So once I get to here, I'm trying to get my left elbow to underneath the side. So as I get to here, I'm going to try to wrap around. I chose a bad angle on this one, but wrap around, pop out, and go to here. So let's have you try to hit from say this side. So he goes here. Again, trying to get my thumb on the inside, posture out my neck a little bit. So he starts going for the darts. I want to take my right hand, try to spin underneath, and get all the way in. So what I'm doing essentially is like a Suzuki armbar style, over top this, and then come up. If I want to go here, I'll just finish this way. Ideally, I'm getting lazy on it, but ideally I should be with my head on his back, going here. Otherwise, if he rolls, so go ahead and roll over that right shoulder. If he rolls, scoot off to that side just a little bit. I'm just going to stay heavy on top of that, go up to the shoulder, and go down and be on the bicep. But I just want to make sure that I kind of choke up on him a little bit and then go here. So just like a Suzuki armbar, but you'll use that a lot to where, say you're here, I'm going to come underneath. So that one will be like 12 seconds behind, by the way. So even if we'll do the same thing from like almost like an anaconda, like you'll just set it up from here. Other way if you want. Other side. Okay. So as I come underneath, gripping this, pop, then doing a sit, and then coming up to that same thing. So just as soon as they start to grab for that, you're putting your hand on the inside and starting to come underneath. Anaconda choke, trying to think, I mean, for me it's, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit an anaconda choke on your wideness. So for here, Doris, anaconda, I always have to go here, sit, drop, make sure to keep his head in the center of my chest, and then walk super close to his legs. So, and then switching that up also with like the Japanese necktie kind of thing as well. So
yeah, the biggest problem I see with anaconda is I think people frequently overestimate how far they have to shoot that underneath. Like I think some people, it was Nog that popularized it Pride at first, right? He tapped a couple guys with it, and he had a very, very deep grip when he went with it, which is cool. I mean, it's great, but I think people thought you had to have this super deep shot across the way, and I frequently don't do that. If I can just make contact with my bicep, what I do to close it off a lot is like Bruce, to keep their head smack dab in the middle of your chest. That way when you start walking towards the legs, it closes it off. But the other thing I'll do is I'll kind of pinch my elbows together as I puff my chest out into it, and it closes that gap really well. You don't have to be completely all the way across. I think that's the biggest problem that I frequently see with Darces and anacondas is people feel like they just got to be here. That's just not true.
Yeah, so when you get all the way that deep, you're hitting it at the wrong angle. Like ideally, I want to try to get this like probably, I don't know, 3 inches of space on one of their carotids most of the time, right? So if I can hit that darce, I want to be right on it like this. My thumb, the back of my thumb should be on the back of his neck the whole time, both on the anaconda and the darce. And then that's when I know that I'm in good position. If I get past that, there's going to be a meatier area here that is going to be tougher for me to be able to get a choke on, just because of the fact that there's a little bit more space there, there's a little bit more muscle there. Not much with me, it's just other people. All right. Tell me if that didn't answer your questions too, by the way. Do you prefer to switch your hips and walk back into him, or sink where it's at? I'll say this too. Actually, we should bring this up real quick. On the anaconda or darce, I was in Robert Drysdale's camp for Hodger Gracie because I was similar. Like Hodger and I are pretty much similar size, except for he's actually really good at jiu-jitsu and I'm like so. So it's funny that Robert had me in the camp for that because Audrey and I don't have a super similar style, but where I'm going with that is go in turtle real quick. Head towards me. That he talked about is whether you're going for the Darce or you're going for, anaconda, things like that. When I get this grip, I want to make sure to try to bring this elbow all the way out here. So I want to get his bicep to his ear, essentially. So when I'm here, rather than trying to hit it from here, I want to put pressure down here, pull, 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 and then go from there. If I want to go anaconda, or anaconda, or if I want to go Darce. But just connecting that bicep to his ear. So my elbow comes, bring it back over here. So same setup for the other stuff, but just taking an elbow essentially, pressure down and pulling this here. So getting him completely broke down to where that arm's already in the right position for a choke before you even start to get into that position. I think I saw a question on mounted arm bar.
Yeah, armbar from S is what I saw.
I'm really looking forward to this though. Great. All right, let's go back a little bit. Yeah. Okay. For me, I like to get hand on the back, put my bicep to his tricep, go here, and then I want to smash and go around to the side. So as I come around to this side, typically what I'll see is a lot of people make the mistake of bringing this leg super wide. So I want to keep this super tight. Angle you out just slightly here. Okay. So I want to keep this tight, and this area has to be right against his belly. If I can, I want to get to here. Then once I stay here, I'm going to scoop my hips down and then drive forward slightly, right? So if I just go here, it sucks, but it's not a ton of pressure compared to me bringing my hips slightly lower and then pushing this forward. Once I get to there, switch, grab it here. Another thing I'll see is people will do this, right? So then I'm going to just fight that the whole time. I want to go all the way to here, grab my collar, grab my back, angle off, and skim around the top of his head, go here, hips down, or fall back. If I fall back, I can grab around the leg. But I want to feel super structurally sound and push a lot of my weight into him if I can. So,
thank you, person who asked about the S mount.
So,
thank you for that.
Here, around. So this knee goes behind. Pull this up. Heel comes underneath. And then again, this sucks, but what I want to do is get myself lower and then drive my hips forward. So I'm going to go around, grab here, this way, or this way. Make sure that you're not doing it from here. Lean off to the side so you can bring the leg over. So here, fall back. But most of the time you should be able to do it from on top. That was fun. Yeah. So one other thing I want to talk about, a lot of times guys will get into arm bars and go ahead and grip. One like way to finish that I don't see people do a lot, that if you guys want to try it, you can. We had a guy named Dan McKay who's super strong upper body, and no matter what I tried, like the Americana one, turning, like getting on the wrist, things like that, none of it worked. He just kind of laughed at me. Even though he wasn't super technical, he was just really strong, good wrestler. I couldn't ever finish the armbar on him, so I had to start switching to where I would go here, so top hand, go underneath, I'd grab my leg, and then this other one's going to shoot underneath, and then I bring my elbow over top. So I'm going to go here, grab, shoot through, this elbow comes over. Now both hands can come here, and I've still got this elbow over. So it's almost like I'm trying to do a prime bar on this arm as I go over top here. So then this arm's nice and stuck in the armpit, and I can go back. I'm going to win that battle most of the time just because my back should be stronger than his arms. If it's not, like Ryan Hall says, maybe I'll just have to hit the gym for a little bit. So here, come around, pull this nice and tight. So don't even worry about this yet. If he has that grip, go here. Bring this nice and tight. If you want to get a prime bar, you can get a prime bar. And then go here. Okay, are you flexible enough for the 10th planet stuff, like the Gogo Plata and the Sorcerer? I don't know what the Sorcerer is, but I gotta, it was funny. I was on Gary Tonan's thing talking about, we call it honey hole. Like, one of our weird things that we do at the gym is that now require everybody to learn pretty much all the advanced positions as well. And so, like, we have guys that have been in here for like 10, 15 classes that have to learn like honey hole and truck and crab guard's a new one, just so they're aware of all those. And so I think I'm going to switch it from honey hole position to 411, just because telling people, like new people, hey, we're going to go ahead and put you in a honey hole is kind of a weird weird thing. So I'll say on the Gogo Plata, I used to do it a lot. I used to actually love doing the Gogo Plata. I've been doing this for 16 years and both of my knees are kind of shot. But I'll do kind of like a modified Gogo Plata situation. How's that? One guard. So here, I'm going to break this down and go underneath here. If I want to take a little bit of the power off of it, I'm going to switch and go over top and just use that if you want. Come back quickly. I don't mind going into Gogo Plata here, but I just feel like I end up using too much of my knee. So, and I trained a little bit with Josh Barnett as well. So anytime, like I would go here, get to this, yeah, exactly. He would smash, take this foot and smash it down. And so I got a little freaked out with that. But anytime from the old Plata position, going here, bring your face up just slightly. I don't wanna. Coming underneath as well. I like doing that. I'll have to look at the Sorcerer. You got any information on the Sorcerer?
Generally +5 Constitution. You want to keep them at range, lest the boss just one-shot them. Yeah, that's what I know about sorcerers.
No, I feel bad.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with it either. I mean, keep in mind a lot of the stuff that first came out with Bravo and those guys, like they named the stuff that they gave it the names that they did is because they could call it out in competitions and nobody would know what they were talking about. So if sorcerer's old, then I guess I probably just forgot it at some point.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the honey-hole position. It's once you get in it, like it's super hard to get out. I love doing the heel hooks from there. I certainly like the position. It's just I have to give it a little bit of crap just because of the name of it. So that and DPO and all that. So let me see. How much time you got left?
I'm gonna have to get going here pretty quick.
We'll do one more question if you got it. I'll do some research too on like the Sorcerer, double Gogo Plata, some stuff off of there. Like I said, I like all that stuff. I used to play it a lot. It just ended up getting my knees smashed up, especially the people that I was training with. Yeah, Mark Lehman used to do that as well a lot. He would come up with completely crazy names and yell them out across the mat and things like that. The other thing too that I'll say, if you guys are blue belts, purple belts, brown belts, one thing that I might suggest, I'll go grab it real quick and I'll be right back.
Now it's just you and me, friends. Oh, nothing. I was just talking to the viewing audience.
Oh, now I'm not going to be able to find it.
Brown belt's name is Scott. No, my name's Lee. You can call me Scott if you like. It's cool.
I have a guy that trains at the gym. This is like my gym. He's been calling me Chris for like 6 months, so that's cool. I mean, as long as he's learning and as long as his check clears, I guess. The first one's more important to me, as long as he's learning. But this is like something that I'll have. Some of the blue and purple belts do. Should just probably put it up on like a thing. But essentially, focus. Come on, thing. But it's like all the positions and what you would do from there, and then the 3 things in a sequence. So just being almost like the same idea as a mind map, but essentially putting them all down in one. And then if you can do that, I can send this to you as well. Just put it on the group chat. But you know, if you're able to fill these out pretty easily, great. The positions that you can't fill out very easily, obviously are going to be problem areas. And the more that you can kind of narrow some of this stuff down, the easier some of the rolling I think is going to be. Usually, like I said, I like to do this with guys that have been training for a little while, just so they don't feel like it's a huge task of having to fill this thing out when they don't know any of the techniques. I've kind of toyed with the idea of one of the girls that's starting, just giving her one of the mind maps from like the one that you guys saw that I put in the group, and having her learn out of that rather than doing it this way. So our gym's kind of weird in the fact that we do a flipped classroom. So everybody comes and like has a sheet to work on from different levels rather than me coming in and teaching. So.
How long have I been an addict?
We're both A4s, by the way. So I've been doing this 16 years now, since 2000, 15 years. And then what for you? 13, 14?
14.
14 years. He started the same time pretty much I did. I started in a Hapkido school that was trying to teach jiu-jitsu, and then we had a purple belt from Pedro Sauer start. And then he started training with him as well, and then he went off to try to be a lawyer for a while.
Yeah, I spent some time down in Chicago. When I was down there, I trained with, for those of you who may know the Chicago area, it's a bunch of Carlson Gracie people down there. Jay Balco was the guy I rode with quite a bit, and then Mac the Knife down there as well. So.
But I'll probably call. I want to do these every once in a while. If you guys have video too, I've got. I know the quality looks probably not so great here, but I can make it better. It was just I didn't know how many people were going to show up. But if you want to review footage, whatever we can, I can just put it on here as well. So we do a lot of streaming for grappling tournaments and stuff like that. So I have the capabilities. It's just a matter of how much equipment I want to be able to bring. So past that. Thank you very much for helping me out. He's got to go home to his wife. My wife's not in town, so I'm going to bachelor it up for a couple more hours.
What?
Yeah, that bachelor life, just hanging out with random people on YouTube. It doesn't sound as cool when you're 21. It sounds pretty all right when you're 35.
We all have different hobbies now.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Yeah, I do have a microphone. Is the audio pretty bad on this, or is it okay? Yeah, right now I'm just using a built-in one, but I do have, I've got pretty much whatever you would want me to use. So we can do like an HD camera, and then some. I've got a couple vocal mics or condenser mics that I could use as well. So I just wanted to make for sure that it was, I didn't know how many people were going to show up tonight. So. All right, thank you guys very much. If you do have any other further questions, let me know, and maybe I'll try to film it throughout the week. All right, talk to you guys later.
See you guys.